Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this is the Maritac Mini LEP or LEP Cosmos. There's really no point in talking about this thing. Let me show you what it does. So what you're looking at are beam shots of this firing across a pond. This is 250, 300 meters. This LEP light can fire out over 25 miles. Doesn't mean you can see what's there, but it does in fact make a big difference in whether or not somebody can see you. So in some ways people are thinking these kinds of new LEP lights, or it stands for laser excited phosphor, and it's a technology that really, it's like a thrower on steroids, or somewhat like a laser flashlight. So it actually isn't just providing a dot, it's actually providing usable light. The problem is it's so far away. But anyway, so let's take a closer look at this thing. It's a little tiny light in roughly the same form as a AA light. Now AA lights, we're often used to some higher lumen counts than say 260, which is what this is on full. 260 is not a lot of lumens. In fact, that's on the high end, 180 on the low end. Basically, it's a two-speed flashlight. It does look a little bit different if you see the front end there, the way this is designed. It is using a rechargeable from Maritac and CountyComm, the 3.7 volt CR or ICR 14500. I recommend this charger. This is the Q4, and you simply drop the batteries in, and it is USB-C. I use this for everything. CountyComm sells these. Just an outstanding design. But it's a little tiny bolt-like light. However, it does stuff that other lights can't. That beam, if you look at that here, so I've got a standard laser flashlight, or laser light. So there's a laser, and there is the beam. And you can see, obviously this laser will fire across a mountain, so will the beam on this thing. It does get a little toasty, doesn't last forever, but where do you use something like this? Well, I've been using throwers. In fact, different throwers like the ThruNite. Some people thought that the Baton Turbo was a thrower. I think it's a little less than a thrower. I have used for various purposes. This is a Streamlight SuperTac IR thrower. This casts out a really intense long-range beam in the infrared for uses. And I've talked about, well, look at that. I can put this on basically like a binocular system and use the binoculars with the flashlight to see things a long ways away. In fact, watch this. What you've got here is a zoomed in picture of what's across the pond, and I could easily have used binoculars instead of just a phone zoom. So anyway, what do we have? Well, possibly a light in search of a purpose. These are starting to gain popularity in S&R, or search and rescue, emergency services, those curious about things, hence using the binocular if you're wondering what's quite a ways away. As far as a laser, it does not have the same eye damage. You know, if you punch somebody or something in the face, but you should not ever point this towards anybody, anything that is sensitive to light. No airplanes, all that's illegal because this is such a powerful light. But if you're kind of growing bored with some of your usual lineup of flashlights and want to try some new things, here you go. The Maritac Mini LEP Cosmos is a good place to start. This thing sells for about $100, and then for over $200, they do have one in titanium, of course. CountyComm's known for titanium. But for a unique flashlight with some superpowers, it's totally a flashlight on steroids. It's a thrower on steroids. Throwers have these gigantic beams. You see that coming out of this thrower versus this? I mean, night and day, literally. The focus on this beam is much tighter. The reach is much further. It's just a whole new dimension. Could I run through the forest with this? No, you can barely walk through the forest with this thing. That's not what it's for. It's for firing long range. It's for signaling. It's for seeing things at 10 power distance. It's a whole new generation of lights that we need to find uses for. So I've got some links below for all the gory details if you want to learn more about both LEP flashlights and this particular Maritac flashlight. But if you're interested in something that does what nothing else can do, well, here you go. And with that, Doc out.